My first day in my new studio. As many of you know, I have been working in my studio at home for many years, but it's been a bit problematic of late. So I'm off to B&Q, which I think in America it's called Home Depot. Anyway, bought loads of wood and decided to put some shelves up. The studio is actually completely bare when I first moved in, so it required a lot of staining. This is beeswax, a lot of sawing, my least favourite of jobs. I am so rubbish at sawing. I'm getting better, but you know, still not great. And then trying to find a way of single-handedly putting table legs on a flat bit of wood. It definitely needed a little bit of thinking about doing this. And you know, I am not a carpenter, but I did the best I could. And actually what I've ended up with is pretty good. It's okay, as you can see, using a spirit level. I know, I'm a real professional here. And that desk is going to be where my filming corner is. And look, it fits. All my measurements were measured correctly. Then up with one of my shelves. Day 2, back to B&Q. This is a bit like Groundhog Day. Now there is more mess. I've brought more stuff from home, more tools, more bits and bobs. Yep, we're back to staining, but this time outdoors because it's such lovely sunny weather. And I've got 2 more boards that I need to stain. But the good thing about it is the beeswax smells amazing, and every time I walk into my studio now it still smells of it. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I've got a lot of books that I need to find a home for, which you'll see in a minute. The pile is a bit large, but I really need them around because it gives me inspiration. I like reading them, and also sometimes when I'm a bit stuck to know how to draw something, I will look through my books and see if there's something similar that can give me a bit of inspiration. This is going to be my table for my light box, which I didn't really have a proper place for it before, and as you can see, super wobbly, despite the fact that I actually did measure the legs and they're all 80 centimetres long, so I don't know what has happened. And that little hole that's there in the top, that used to be where the plug would go down. This had my PC on it back in my old studio, so the plug would go down there. And I think those 2 shelves look good. More stuff. I really need to sort all my stuff out. Screws and some nails and stuff like that. See, more stuff. The only trouble with, the one thing I've noticed about being here is that it can be a little noisy because people walk past all the time. But look, plug it in. Is it going to work? Wahey! Now, you are not supposed to park here. However, I had a lot of stuff to unload, so I parked here in the hope that a nice person was not going to come along and give me a parking ticket, and so far so good. This is my old worktop that was in my studio, and I'd had some water damage on it from the leaky roof. Remember, I'm always going on about the leaky roof. So guess what I'm going to do? That's right, I'm going to stain it. And actually it came out pretty well, so I'm pleased I did it. I need to hang up some kind of curtain so that people can't just look in, and also just for some privacy. Yeah, that looks better with some books on it already, and a plant, my spider plant. So it's beginning to come together, but look in the corner, that hideous electricity box and the water supply. That's not going to look very nice, so I'm going to have to cover that up with something. And remember I was saying about the books? Yeah. Oh dear. got to find a home for all of these. So the curtains look good, quite pleased with that. Everything just needs to find a home. Good morning, Space Cats! It's day 9, I think, after I moved into the studio, which was, as you saw from the beginning of the video, completely blank. And I had to move everything in. So I'm so excited to be here after the, let's say, downfall of my previous studio. You know, if you've seen any of my videos where I've been wittering, you'll know that I've had issues with the roof that leaked, and it's too hot in the summer and it's too cold in the winter. And then this winter, whilst storing my little fat balls for the birds, a rat got in and chewed its way up through the floor. So really that was the final rat in the coffin. I decided that enough was enough and I needed to find somewhere else to be creative and make things. So here I am. Do you want to have a look round? This is the reverse view of my studio. Isn't this cool? This is through the window. Hi! Okay, let's go in. So it's a really bright sunny day today. Really bright sunny day, so I don't know what the lighting's going to be like. Probably a bit all over the place. Shut the door, and I've got one of these really cute butler sinks, which is ceramic and taps. Marvellous. This is where my light box is, and you saw me making that table for it to go on. And it's actually got, I'll just show you what's underneath at the moment, really just some boxes, got books in and some projects. Let's see if I can get that light a bit better. There we go, and my bins. And that thing there, wooden thing, is my dad's guillotine. So that comes from about the early 1950s, I think, and I absolutely love it. It's still sharp now. And here are the bookshelves that I put up with that enormous pile of books that you saw me wrestling with. I still got probably another 50 or 100 at home that I need to find a home for. And then over here, there's a very ugly electrics box up there behind that bit of fabric. So I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with that, really. But for the time being, I've got some of my Quentin Blake fabric. This is the enormous crocodile. That's curtain fabric. And down here we've got Matilda fabric, which of course she is one of the coolest cats ever. And this is going to be my filming corner. I did a little bit of testing yesterday and hopefully I've kind of got things right. And then down here I've just got some supplies, some pens and stuff. And then I have another door. I mean, I'm a 2-door studio tenant these days. I only had 1 door before, so I'm definitely going up in the world. And these are my hardback books. I've left them in the box because I wasn't 100% convinced that my bracket putting up skills were completely perfect, so they're going to stay in the box for now. And a little radio to keep me entertained. And then this is my sort of techie area. And I have a nice comfy chair and the obligatory cool suitcases. And then further along here is my arty area. I'm going to be able to stick my chair there, and that's where I'm going to be doing my top-down videos. So if you see me do any drawing videos where I'm just looking down at the page, this is where I'm going to be sitting, because I've got all the things around me that I really need and use on a regular basis. So in here, you've probably seen me use this before. There's my Inktense pencils, which I totes love. And then above it, I've got another shelf. That's just going to be for all my supplies. So some sort of random miscellaneous stuff there. And some paints and extra pencils, some inks. And then over that side, that's going to have to come over here, is the paints that I use most often and my watercolour brushes. So that's all going to have to shuffle up this end. You can see my view, which is really rather lovely. And that's it really. I have a heater for winter, so we're good to go. What's going on outside today? Anything exciting? It's very windy. And that really is it for now. So I hope you liked a little look around the studio. Next week I'll be bringing you something either drawing or to do with publishing. What would you prefer? Until then, I'm off to rough up a ruffian. I will see you next week. Nanu nanu.